yeah, I guess to sum it up, Diablo Immortal needs autoplay, and if it doesn't have autoplay, it fucking sucks.
All
Like
right,
you
you
suck
heard it
if you
first.
play it. Diablo is meant to be played on auto. Say that ought to farm some comments.
There we go. There we go. I'll cut that segment. That'll go in the front. We'll just put that right at the front. Hey guys, Sugar Happy John coming at you with another Diablo Immortal video. I am joined once again by the man, the myth, the legend, Jgigs. For those of you who do not know the context of this follow-up video, basically a little while ago we had a video where we talked about why is Jgigs not playing Diablo Immortal, and we kind of just touched base on a little bit of what's going on in the game, what we could possibly see change with the game to make it better. And for this one, I kind of wanted to actually go through and respond to all of your guys' comments with Jgigs to kind of let you guys know on a personal level, what our response is, what we personally think about the game, how to change it and make it better. And also, I mean, who doesn't love like a good collab with old Jgigs here? All right, so how's it going, Jgigs? How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. How you been?
I've been doing all right, doing all right. Obviously, I lost a little bit of hair, I lost a little bit of beard hair there, a little bit. We did some grinding. I'm basically server Paragon now, so I can no longer complain about this. I'm like a smidge away from being server Paragon. It's a
Okay.
nice Monday feeling for me. But
Yeah,
yeah,
that's crazy.
I know it took a little bit of time. Took a little bit of time. I think I'll probably come out here and we'll be able to talk a little bit more actually about that during this video. But obviously, I'm going to have you on here. I want to do a follow up from our last video. I want to talk to the people, let them know what we think about their comments. We're going to read a Diablo Immortal comment section. This is going to be interesting. I don't know
Yeah,
if you've read any of these yet, but they can be
I have not.
they can be pretty. They can be either really good or really bad. So we're gonna go ahead. I think we're just gonna read through them. We're gonna kind of address them, see if people have what we're looking for, and kind of what I want to show off here is if people have like the same thought process. Is this totally different, one sided, and then how we take it and perceive it. Like if it's something that we think is plausible or just wouldn't be worth it. You know what I mean?
Sure.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna start here. So obviously, this is the video that we're referring to, guys. If you haven't seen it, what does Blizzard need to do? The first comment here, we're gonna just go dive right into it. It's gonna be play to win games guy. That sounds like we're gonna start off with a real solid one here. Here's my suggestion: allow single player dungeons at all levels. But if you run with 4 people and a set piece drops, then every person gets a set piece drop. Okay, or just a 400% increased chance per party member, i.e., one person 100 to. Okay, so basically what they're saying is dungeons. Did you ever get into run dungeons for set drops? So where we
A
had to
little
give.
bit, not a
Okay,
ton.
so they did change the mechanic slightly on this. So now when you run with a 4-man party, you get a chest at the end that gives you another RNG chance to get a set drop.
Okay.
So it looks like what they're saying here is they want to see if someone does get a set drop that it's global. Everybody in the run gets a set drop. So if one person, let's say me and you are running, you get a set drop, then I would get a set drop or increase the chance. Think that would be, I think that'd be a little broken if they were to do that. What do you think?
Yeah, I think maybe one or the other.
Yeah.
But I think giving everyone a guaranteed if one person gets a drop and then boosting it per person, I think is a lot.
Yeah.
It would remove a lot of the grind. I don't have a problem with boosting Magic Find per party member,
Right.
but I think if doing the thing where if one person gets it, everyone gets it could be tough.
Yeah, I could definitely see that because I do think okay, one person 100%, two people 200%, maybe not that drastic. Like let's not say 200, 400. I think that's because at the end of the day, right? If they want to make this a grinding game, so they don't want us to be able to bang these out like in a day, right? But I think maybe I do agree a little bit with this thought process here that just by having additional people, it gives you an initial magic find, like you were saying, because
Sure.
that's no
Yeah.
different than like D3, right? Like you had magic find that increased the drop rate or the items that you would get as far as the stats go. Same thing here,
Right.
only instead let's
And then
get
like
like yeah, go ahead.
in like D2, the more people you had, the stronger the monsters were, which affected
Right,
the power of the items dropped as well.
right.
So something like that.
Okay. Yeah. No, I think even though it's a play to win games guy here, I think that was a good, that's potentially good free to play suggestion. Okay, I'm down with this. I'm down with the suggestion. All right, let's go ahead. Let's move on here. Now we got Red Runner 44. Okay, so he's got an opposing idea. Red Runner 44. I would not like this idea. It's already bad enough that Diablo experience has changed due to this game, but allowing an auto system with where you progress without playing is the total opposite of how Diablo is. Okay. I do not agree, though. They need to add new stuff by now. They need to add new locations in the open world. They also need to add new dungeons with new set items and make set items shops a little bit more often. Or okay, I'm assuming he means drops. I'm assuming he said item drops because it's like one out of every 15 runs gets you a set item. So he's saying cut that down from 1 out of 15. So he's definitely saying there needs to be something happen with set items. Once again, so we're talking about set items again. All right, that's 2 comments back to back. 45 runs and get 2 set items. This seems a little odd. In my testing, it's every 15 you get 1. So this is super bad RNG if he's saying that he did 45 runs and only got 2. He's happy with the Legos being added, but they need to add more content and more locations for us to grind. Maybe new PvP matches, like a free-for-all, 2v3, 3v3, 5v3 arena. So he's asking for like battle royale type stuff. Yeah, so it looks like he's basically like the gist of what he's saying here is he's basically calling Blizzard out that they want to make money, but he doesn't want an auto system. He doesn't want to be able to just autoly like what we talked about in the last video where we were like, hey, maybe if there was an AFK aspect. He doesn't want AFK. He wants just more of a balancing of items in the game.
Sure. And inherently, I don't disagree that that's not what Diablo is. But I think just in the sense that it's a mobile game, and I think that the autoplay generally is pretty standard in the space. I think I expected something like that, and I don't even necessarily think that they should have it. I was more answering the question why I don't play it. It's just a matter of me not having the time to play it. I get that though. I agree. Like if Diablo 2, although to be fair, I did run Magic Find bots and stuff in Diablo 2 way back in the day. So like I had kind of its own auto play feature. But I get it. It's supposed to be very manually grindy. I don't disagree with that. I just, I don't have time. Really
there's this thing called time. Like, I don't know. There's only 24 hours in a day. It's weird. Some games take longer. I don't know. It's logistics and whatnot. So, okay. All right. Well, that's fair. So actually, here's a good one. John Birmingham says, Diablo 2 was the beginning of hardcore. If you want an easy game that plays itself, Diablo is not the game title for you. Okay.
Sure.
Sure. All right.
I think the idea that any game that plays itself is automatically an easy game is an odd take, but
right. Yeah, exactly. All right. So the Night King. Okay, he's actually watching our stream right now too. Tower of Fantasy, you can auto battle certain dungeons, and so far never run out of stuff to do in that game. Diablo Immortal should be more like Tower of Fantasy. So he's saying having the auto battle for certain dungeons should be a thing. So that way you never get bored. Like you always have something to do. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think they're saying that like Tower of Fantasy has the auto feature and it doesn't feel boring yet. I think that's kind of a counter to people saying that the game having auto would take away from it.
Yeah, no, I definitely. Yeah, I think you're right. I think he's pointing out that even though it does have an auto feature, like you still have something you can do in game, you can still have fun with it, so it doesn't ruin it. I think that's also more of a standpoint of because Tower of Fantasy is primarily just mobile, right? I think they do have a PC client, but it is majority is a mobile game. I think that's the majority of the player base. So I could see how like that'd be a good comparison, right? Because once again, we're talking about a Diablo franchise that is mobile versus your standard PC game.
Yeah.
All right. So let's see here. What's the next one that we have? We have, we'll skip the, okay, here we go. Gnome. Okay. So I totally agree with this first point. The game is really time consuming for a mobile game. Okay. It would be much cooler if you had a monthly pool or stuff to do that could do it whenever you wanted. Okay. So like a monthly goal that once you knocked them out, you knocked them out. Having a login a few hours every day and quickly gets exhausting. Okay. There are a lot of daily chores you have to do to not fall behind. I feel that obviously I just played like for 6 hours the other day just to catch up on Server Paragon. Some events like Into the Dark Wood, which is it was a new event we just had. It was here for like a week and then it went away. Already piled up all the quests. If you fall behind, this is great. Yes, they did that. This one event, what he's talking about here, Into the Dark Wood, that event, if you missed a day, you're okay. Like they just stacked them up, so you could go and you could do like more the next day and catch yourself up.
Yeah, okay.
So he's saying that was a good mechanic, which plays into his monthly thing, right? So I think that's probably a good idea. They should do the same Assembly, Sanctum, Shadow, Immortal Quest, Hidden Quest, etc. Quest. I'm not sure what he's trying to say here. Like maybe if it's all the same like process, maybe.
Maybe don't make it where if you miss a day, you miss certain parts of those.
That could be. That could very well be.
Like a makeup system.
Yep. And maybe they do monthly activities to get up to 1,000 keys, 200 gems, 100 shadow activities, etc. Okay, so even here, like he's saying, so like keys, right? Haradrim keys are big. These are time gated, so you can get up to like 19 keys a day, and you need to level Haradrim up to 50 to max it out. I've been doing this every single day, and the highest one I have is 22. So and you have 9 of them to fill out. So I have 1 at 22 out of 9. So it's going to take, it's a long process. So I think that's what he's trying to say. Like, well, let's cut down the Haradrim process, it looks like. And 200 gems, I'm assuming he means orbs. Because right now the only way to get orbs in the game is to pay to win. You have to physically buy them. And then 100 shadow activities. This is for ranking in the shadows. So that's interesting. So maybe, or he could be talking about rewards. There are special dailies that you can do as a shadow. So that could be part of that as well. So it looks like he's thinking more on the lines of, if you were to take a game that has all of the mechanics, all the rewards, all the guides or the content, so to speak, and allowing you everything on day one, and then having the entire month to complete it, not have to log in every single day to complete it and stay active with it. What would be your take on that kind of a thought process?
I mean, yeah, that seems reasonable, I reckon. I wasn't super familiar with that part of it.
Yeah, I suppose. My counter argument to that, though, is I think like no different than any game. I think no video game can do this because the idea is to keep you logging in every day, right? Like what happens, say me or you get busy or we go on vacation for a week and we forget all about Diablo Immortal because we're on vacation, we're doing something. Well, chances are like, oh, you could keep procrastinating. Like, hey, I don't have to log in. I can take care of this like the last 2 days of the month. And the next thing you know, you just stop playing. So I could see how this could be, a portion of this could be counterintuitive for Diablo to where they want to get you more active every single day, right? They want, it's no different than Raid, right? Like Raid, every day you want to log in to do the events or whatever, because if you miss some of the events, then you don't get to like the Fusion Champion or whatever. So it's the same thing where they want you to log in every day and play a minimum time periods. I think that'd be my counter argument to why we could never pull this off. I do think maybe if they had like extra events, like if they added extra events to give these types of rewards for a month, I think that'd be good. But I don't think in the current setup right now, if they were to change anything, it would actually benefit the player by switching it to monthly. I think you'd actually see more decline in the game than benefit. All right, so let's see here.
Yeah, I think there's a good balance to maintain for sure of like things that need you to log in every day, but then also having some things that give you a little bit of leeway.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. All right, so let's see. We got Daniel Rowe. He says AFK playing is the last thing a Diablo game needs. Okay, it goes against the entire Diablo experience. Okay, so he's doubling down on this. Anyone who played a Diablo game knows this. He's tripling down on this.
Trump.
Yep. Personally, the grind is what makes the game therapeutic and rewarding when you get that nice upgrade. Okay, so he's a glutton for punishment. He likes to just mash all day, every day for that one upgrade. Okay. Every second you spend farming is a step forward. Not playing won't let you progress, and that's how it should be for a game. Okay, like this. I'm a very busy person, so I know how long on time it can be. Okay,
I'm a very busy person. I'm the busiest person. Yeah, I think it's getting lost on people that this is a mobile game, and we're talking about a mobile game. If this was Diablo 4, then absolutely, like, by no stretch of the imagination should there be any autoplay. But they've crossed over into another genre, where there are some things that are just standard for the genre. Some form of autoplay is that. I don't want to load the game and hit a button and it just play all day for me. But if I've cleared a dungeon and met certain criteria, then I feel like I should be able to auto run that dungeon. Or if I've cleared a part of the map in the world, I feel like I should be able to hit a button and it run around and kill stuff for a while. You know what I mean? Time gate it. There's features to put this under control to keep someone from just having it going 24/7. But I feel like people, and I get being defensive over Diablo because I am too. I'm a big Diablo fan myself, but they've crossed over into a genre where there are industry standards, and that's what we're talking about. I agree. Diablo is supposed to be grindy. It's supposed to be manually played. I'm with you on all that, but also we're in mobile gaming, so
yeah, exactly. Like we crossed that threshold of the difference between PC and mobile, right? I think that's where a lot of people are struggling when it comes with Immortal in the beginning, or in the first place. It's like we have a pay to win aspect, right? Which is not in any Diablos, other than
shocking.
obviously,
Yeah,
right. So everyone's like, "Oh my god, it's pay to win! I can't do this." And then on top of that, the time crunch, like the thought of now you're drawing in mobile players playing the game, and they're like, this isn't like any other mobile game we played. So then you have people like me and you who are like, yeah, like this is what we become accustomed to as mobile, right? So I definitely feel like they probably really should reevaluate, like, okay, what is the difference? Like, what makes this different from any other mobile game, or what do they need to adopt with mobile games for sure? Because they can't. I don't think a successful business model for Diablo Immortal is to keep this playing like you would a normal PC game. I don't think that makes this game successful, personally.
Right. Yeah, like if you can look at Raid is almost exclusively auto play, and it's one of the top games. So like it's not unheard of to think that a mobile game should have some autoplay, and it also doesn't make the game easy. I don't know what this idea is that because there's autoplay, there's no strategy or anything involved. Go finish in Platinum Arena.
Right?
And tell me it's
and go tell me,
just because the game's playing for you, it's easy. Like it's tough. Go one key Hydra and do all these other things. Like it's autoplaying, but there's still a lot of difficulty there. And I feel like Diablo could be the same way. I mean,
sure.
honestly, I think at a certain point too, like these last 20 levels that you grinded recently.
Yeah.
How hard was that? Was it just a matter of being present?
It was just being present. There was no skill difficulty. So why did I need to be present to do it? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like exactly what you're getting at. Like I didn't need to be present. All I did was like run in a circle in an area. So like was there any
you just had the time skill? To give it. You know what I mean?
I literally just needed to set aside the time, like which is the hardest part of the game. Is like, Kelly, do you have time to play it? Like, no, not today. All right, well, I guess you're not playing it today. You're not getting no levels. Oh, you got 6 hours today? Okay, yeah, you can make up for the last so many days. Okay, cool.
Right.
So, I mean, yeah, no, you definitely. I think you really hit the mark on that one because a lot of people aren't taking that into consideration. Like, I'm all for grindy games. I love them. I played countless hours of Path of Exile. I played D3. I played D2. I like these games, but when there's no skill attribute needed, why do we need to kill our time? Like, and that's, I'm totally a believer on that one. And even then, like even open world farming, I think could be one of those things where they could just make that a little bit auto. Maybe keep dungeons not auto. I don't know. But giving some sort of mechanic to alleviate just a little bit of that general time factor would just be beneficial in the long run, in my personal opinion. All right, let's see. Let's move on to let's go see what Toki Games says. Toki Games, interesting name here. Okay. New maps for PvP is one option since the map is more benefit for the Necro and the Wizard. Okay, so he's saying that PvP is broken because the Necro can put up a couple of his abilities like Bone Pillar and another ability and just stop traffic through. And a Wizard can actually put up a crystal that can hit you from off the map around the corner.
Oh, okay.
So I think what he's saying is they need to switch up the demographic a little bit. So that way it's more open field. So that way you can't do the funnel type tactics is what I think what he's getting at. I can't say I disagree. I think if you're going to have PvP in a game, it can't be the same map constantly. I don't think you can do the same thing every single time.
Yeah. Because you'll have what you have now where there's strategies for certain classes on that map, which is fine if it's not the only map. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep. Agreed. All right. So the next one we have. Oh, someone just making fun of me for my server Paragon. Always under server Paragon. Thank you. Thank you. This is about what you expect on a Diablo Immortal video. So actually, that's pretty nice. Let's see here. Bangalore. Diablo Immortal doesn't need to be your main game. It isn't a bad idle game, but when you are a slow grinder, you get 400% experience. So he's saying if you don't make it your main game, it's fine to play it anyways because you can still get 400 experience once you fall far enough behind.
Sure. I guess my part of that I'm curious of is when you say it's not a bad idle game. Is it an idle game?
No, I think that's where I'm with you on that one too. Like maybe he just means maybe English isn't his first language, so by idle game he means second game, maybe like as a backup game or something like.
Or like a good down. Maybe he means like a good downtime game.
Could be. But yeah,
I mean,
so
okay.
I guess okay. All right, let's see. Daniel. So it looks like he's got some suggestions for us. Let's start with set items. Nobody's going to have good set items without power farming because most of the set drops are terrible or doesn't drop the set you want. Okay. I literally just have a 2 set bonus that may change over time, but by the time I get 4 set items, we'll be in health 5 and I'll have to replace them all again. That's fair because you get about 65 days per hell level, per hell difficulty. So we're 2.5 weeks of recording this for moving into the next hell difficulty. So any gear that I have right now will be useless in 2.5 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah. All right. So you either get really lucky or have no social life for a full set. No thanks. So basically, once again, he's complaining about set items. So he's literally saying set items in the game are hard to come by and hard to acquire. So it's one of those. He's not happy with it.
Sure. That seems to be a pretty common thing. Set items seem to be coming up a bit.
I think set items so far. I mean, this is what the 4th time that we've actually brought it up at this point. All right, hold on one second. All right, so let's go ahead and let's move on to the next one. So Notorious Dove auto bounties. To be honest, already capped at 24. Not really that fun to do anyway. Make it a little 10 to 15 minutes per bounty or whatever the math is that makes sense. Make up the rewards like XP, maybe let monstrous orbs drop from it. Okay, so I'm slightly confused.
I think that's a fantastic idea.
Yeah.
I think what they're saying is you can like choose your bounties and then set them almost like Dispatch in Awakened Chaos era.
Yeah.
And they're time gated, so you don't just get them automatically, but like you pick a bounty, set it on at like a Dispatch, and then 10 to 15 minutes, or how? I mean, it could be a 24-hour thing too. But I think that's a pretty good idea. That saves a lot of time because the bounties are very tedious and boring. And
I definitely I could see that because no one really likes to do bounties, right? It's one of those. Everyone understands what you get from them, and the rewards just aren't there to make it worthwhile. So okay, I can see that.
Right.
Let's move on. So Blade Walters, this guy he literally comments on all my videos. It's hilarious. So let's see what he says. This is the only mobile game I've ever and will ever play. That being said, I'm dumbfounded at the AFK farm aspect of games. Okay, so he's not a mobile game player at all. He's strictly PC, console, whatever the case may be. Don't you want to feel the sense of accomplishment after grinding all day and making improvements to get stronger? This is literally the bigger number, more fun type of gaming, and to make that pay to win, think about think about that you want to pay more on a game that you already aren't really playing that much. Just save your money, bro. Okay. So to me, he sounds like the hardcore PC Andy. That's what he sounds like.
Yeah, and I get it. I understand. Before I started playing mobile games, I felt similarly. I was like, why do these games have autoplay? When I first started playing Summoner's War and I realized I could turn on auto, I was like, why? Why would I want to not play the game? But now it's like my goal is to not play these games. I don't want to play these games. I want to create teams that can play them. So I get it. If you're not acclimated to the genre, I understand that line of thinking.
Yeah.
It does conceptually seem boring. It does conceptually seem fruitless, and I understand all of that. But there's also not much to say, because we can say, well, you just haven't discovered it yet, and that's fine. Like, there's not much of a conversation to have beyond that.
I can't really disagree with you there. All right, the next one we'll bring up here is JKG Brandon. Oh God, that guy. That Jgigs guy is so hard to understand with that thick Australian accent. We need subtitles, please. Love you, Giggsy. Oh, wasn't that sweet?
Good old Jesus, man.
All right. So moving on here, what do we got here? So literally we have someone else who's, I don't understand the appeal of an auto-playing game at all. I think we've kind of touched on this a little bit.
Yeah, same thing. I get it. I understand.
We get it. Yeah, I think a lot of people are just missing the fact that this is a mobile game, right? It's not PC. They're just totally. It just doesn't comprehend to them. Okay. So that's moot. Who cares? Last thing I need is anything autoing. Let's see. Was there anything good? Oh yeah. I asked him to elaborate, and I got yes and no. Although I think the game originally sought out to be a mobile game, it's ended in the more of a PC light cross-platform category. Okay, so obviously when I challenged him with the idea of this being a mobile versus PC, he thought a little bit more about it. He doesn't think that it's in just the mobile category. So in my opinion, the medium in which the game is played is irrelevant when you come from autoplay. It's more about the feature itself, and it's the design of the objective of the game. Okay. So I think even though he understands it's not just a mobile game, or that it is mobile based, it doesn't matter. So, and then we got Anthony Schnickler above him saying if anything comes autoing other than mobility, he's quitting. So it sounds like people are like half a dozen in one, half dozen the other. That's kind of what I'm getting.
That's interesting too, that people are against it to that degree, because all you have to do is not use it if they implement it.
That's what I mean. So like how dedicated or how invested do you have to really be to say, oh, if they put this in the game, I'm done. I'm not like, it's no different than Crest. Like, yeah, they're pay to win, but you don't have to pay to win. Like, you can just grind.
Right.
Like, you could still do PvE content. You could still do, like, we got all kinds of free-to-play players in Aftershock. You could still play the game, but you're going to feel that strongly about it if they introduce a mechanic or a quality of life for other people that you're going to just quit. Like,
yeah, that's weird. If you don't want to use it, it has nothing to do with you.
Yeah,
I don't get that. No one's going to get to the top of the leaderboard that wouldn't be there because there's autoplay all of a sudden. Right. It's not going to change the rankings.
Exactly.
It's weird.
Yeah, I think I found that a little awkward. Just a little awkward. All right. All right. So this guy, don't ruin the game for people who invest time. Just play under server level. Okay.
Sure. Again, not sure how adding a feature you don't have to use ruins it for anyone else.
I don't know.
I guess I won't put autoplay in the game, guys.
Right. Okay. So
what was that? So Jgigs barely.
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, he's not wrong. He's not wrong.
Just barely. What if they put candles in the game, Jgigs? Does that get you back in the game? They just put candles in it. They did. It's in cosmetics. They got it now in cosmetics. That's it. Jgigs is coming back.
Well, shit. All right.
Battle Pass has got cosmetics. He's in. That's all he needed. That's all he wanted. That's all he asked for. All right. Oh, surprise. Diablo Immortal is actually game you play, not some BS you used to autoplay for P and W before making content. What's he trying to say?
P&W.
I don't know this reference. This is gonna bug me.
For P&W.
I don't know what he's trying to say there.
Is it like a shits and gigs thing, but a different?
Maybe he does mean for like shits and gigs. Maybe, I don't know, because like he did P and at, so obviously there's supposed to be some sort of negative and thought process or pay to win. Oh, Kyrie Mobile just
they just held shift.
Yeah, he just held shift. Pay to win. Okay. Now that makes a lot more sense.
Some
I'm like,
BS used to autoplay for pay to win before making content.
Okay, I mean, maybe he's referring to like us playing Raid or Ace or any of those games where like we would buy packs and diamonds and stuff like that, right? Maybe that's what he's referring to.
Maybe.
So he's saying you actually have to put time in to progress.
Sure.
Okay.
Unlike these games that just autoplay themselves.
Like, all right, cool. All right, next we got Bangle Off again. Why should we care if someone like Jgigs doesn't want to play the game? Jgigs, why do we care?
Honestly, the most valid comment on the video. I agree. I'm asking myself that same question.
Exactly. I don't know. I don't know why we care, but someone does. Someone out there cares. Okay. All right. Oh, this is great. This is great. All right. Let's make it auto bounty and Elder Rifts. It's boring AF. Not rewarding much anyways. Mobile gaming is supposed to be casual. If you're a hardcore Diablo fan, you should go back to D3 and wait for D4. Okay.
There's some sentiment there I agree with, but mobile gaming can be non-casual too. I think that's fine. You know what I mean? There's a lot of serious competitive scenes in these mobile games as well.
Yeah.
I don't know why it can't be both.
Yeah.
It seems like there's a lot of struggle for there to be a casual crowd and the serious crowd. It seems like a lot of the people that are in one of these crowds want it to just be that crowd. Like that's kind of the beauty of these games is there's usually so many different ways to approach it. And I guess that's kind of my thing with Diablo Immortal is that I don't think it's a bad game. I have no problems with it. I was never even as bothered by all the pay-to-win stuff. I just don't have the time for it, and I'm used to these games lending themselves to people that don't have the time for it. This one doesn't, and that's fine. It can be a different game. I'm not shitting on the game or anything.
Right.
I just, again, for anybody that's watching this that watched the last one, I was just answering a question about why I don't play it.
God damn it. That's all I was saying. That's all I was doing, man.
Oh. Yeah, you don't need to defend Diablo to me. It's in my top 3 easy. I'm with you.
Right.
I just don't have time to play Immortal.
Exactly. All right. The last comment we'll cover here, very last one, finally. Completely get rid of the running in circles meta. This shit is fucking stupid as hell, and I'm falling behind now because I just can't stand to do it. Oh my god.
There you go. The running in circles meta.
Yep. I mean, dude, that's what I just said. Like, I grinded for 6 hours the other day to catch up on Server Paragon. Yeah. All I did was just like stand in place and do like a quick little circle. That's all I did while watching movies all day. But yeah.
Isn't the dichotomy interesting of the people in the comments where one is like, it's a game you play, it's serious, and then another person's just like the running in circles meta. Yeah. Like they're talking about the same thing, but it's such different feelings about it. It's
so polar opposite because you do have like I would say out of all these comments, we got half on one hand, half on the other, where they're like, like you're either casual, like whatever, like give us something because it's a mobile game, and the other half are like no, or hardcore, die hard, like you need to be in it to win it, not pay to win, all the time invested, and it does seem like. I think out of a lot of the games we've played, it seems to be the most diverse on like what one side people are actually on.
Yeah.
Like I don't know.
Some of them take it real seriously, man.
So goofy. Some take it a little too much to heart. Just I mean, they're just straight up saying they're going to quit if they add a mechanic in the game that they don't even have to use.
Wild. Also, no, you won't.
Yeah, right. Like they threaten. It's like everyone threatened to move to like Canada if Trump won or whatever. Like
sunk cost fallacy. You're not going to quit because they add autoplay.
Right.
You've got way too much time in to move on. You'll sit here and autoplay, and after 3 or 4 days, you'll be in love with it.
Yeah, exactly. Then you're like, oh, mobile games are great. Maybe that's what they're worried about is that they'll actually enjoy mobile games. Maybe that's the actual problem. Like, oh crap, now I enjoy mobile games. I've ruined my life.
I tell you who the problem is Dr. Disrespect. He's the one that's pushing this narrative that mobile games aren't real games.
Oh god.
All right, we gotta start some beef.
That's it. We gotta go challenge him. Cancels us both with like a blink in his eye. It's fine. It's totally fine. Who are those guys? Yeah, don't worry about us. We're fine.
That's it.
That's it. Done. Career done. Over. All right. Well, that does it for all the comments. I think to sum it up, I don't know, like we were just talking, I think it's 50-50. It seems like set items are definitely a concern. Everyone seems to have. Sounds like they need to do something. I'm going to default back up here to do our boy the play to win games guy comment, like, I think he was the first one to give like an actual fix that like was semi-valid with the magic find comment. I think that was the only like valid kind of argument that we've had tonight as far as actual like comments. But yeah, I mean, either way,
there was a few good ones in there.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess there was a few other good ones too, but I think this one would probably be the most easy and most one that they would actually implement. Maybe not. Those watching, I'd be curious to hear your opinions on them. But at the same time, I mean, I'm glad to see that people engage. Like people were like, okay, yeah, like they watched the video and they felt compelled to actually respond.
Yeah,
I think that's a good sign. For any game, right? Like if we make videos on a game and we get 0 comments, like we get 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 views and no comments, I think that's a bad sign, right? So the fact that we got 33 comments out of a little over 2,000 views, that's not bad. I feel like so people actually watched it and cared enough about Diablo to put forth their opinion. So I think that's a good takeaway from it. But yeah. That's all I got. I wanted to go over this, and I kind of wanted to just share, like, get both of our insights on everything. Do you got any last comments or thoughts on it? I know you had a lot of good opinions and statements throughout the video.
Yeah, I guess to sum it up, Diablo Immortal needs autoplay, and if it doesn't have autoplay, it fucking sucks.
Right,
you suck if you play it. Diablo is meant to be played on auto. So I thought I'd farm some comments.
There we go. I'll cut that segment. That'll go in the front. We'll just put that right at the front.
God, the comments are going to be real interesting on the next one.
That'll be great. All right, brother. Well, hey, thank you so much for doing the video with me. I appreciate you. Love you.
Sure, man. Appreciate you, man.
Obviously, guys, you need to go click all the links down below. Go check out our boy Jgigs. I know he's not doing Diablo Immortal content. He's doing Raid. He's doing these other games. He's doing these fancy games on his other channel. I'm sure when D4 launches, we'll see him back in the Diablo franchise. So definitely stay tuned. But yeah, give our boy Jgigs a follow. Appreciate you guys watching it, and we'll catch you all in the next video. Have a good rest of your day. Peace.